12 stands for local news. And now, from Arizona's #1 choice for local news, this is 12 News.
I'm Joe Dana. A major security breach of credit card numbers in Tucson. Coming up, what the FBI is looking for and what consumers need to know.
Hundreds of drivers stuck in a terrible traffic tie-up when a truck driver reaches for something to drink.
David Devine in the 12 News forecast. Coming up, I'll have your Father's Day weather.
Hello, everyone. I'm Nicole Hernandez-Cunningham. People beat the heat today by learning how to save lives. I'll explain that one coming up.
And good evening. I'm Kim Covington.
And I'm Bram Resnick. The FBI is now investigating a major security scare for 40 million credit card holders. The latest breach happening in Tucson at Card System Solutions. It all raises the question, how do hackers get this inside information? And new at 6, Joe Dana live in Phoenix with a look at the growing world of computer hackers.
Visa, MasterCard, American Express, 3 of the major companies involved in this. We know that the company in Tucson was hit by a computer virus that sucked up information of customers. Now, whether the virus was sent through the internet or in-house, we don't know. But what one computer expert says today is that what's true is that the mission to get this information is growing and becoming more relentless. Computer consultant John Bryant pulls up a how-to website for hackers.
I mean, it's like hacking for dummies.
The website, a glimpse into the world of computer experts teaching others how to steal personal information.
The hackers are spending a great deal of their time in an online community that are working back and forth, trying to figure out how to break the thing.
The latest victim, Card System Solution, a credit card data company with an office in Tucson, where the breach apparently was traced. A spokesperson says they're finding out how it happened.
We called in a third-party forensics investigator that happens to actually be certified with MasterCard to come in here and to do a complete investigation.
While MasterCard reported the breach on Friday, other credit card companies are also involved. As the FBI determines how the breach took place, Brian says suspects in cases like this often have similar backgrounds.
This isn't somebody from Harvard or Berkeley with a PhD that's trying to figure it out. It's someone who's got time in their hands and likes to commit malice.
The last major data theft in Arizona took place in 2002, involving the military healthcare company TriWest. In that case, thieves stole personal information of more than 500,000 military personnel. TriWest maintains to this day that ID theft cases did not result from that particular security breach. Our computer expert says consumers can take some comfort knowing this. Still, most identity theft cases don't result from those major break-ins, though some fraud may happen. Identity theft happens on the ground level, and it's in consumers' control. They should continue to shred all of their information they have and make sure that they don't give out personal information over the phone. In Phoenix, Joe Dana, 12 News.
Well, westbound lanes of the Loop 101 in the North Valley are back open right now after things got down and dirty today. A semi-truck hauling gravel spilled its load in the westbound lanes near Cave Creek Road. 2 lanes of the 101 were shut down for hours while transportation crews cleaned up the mess. The 51 was also backed up due to the accident. DPS says the driver accidentally hit the toggle switch and dumped his load while reaching for a drink, and that led to 1,000 pounds plus of sand and gravel spilling all over.
As soon as he hit the switch, he knew what he did was wrong, so he pulled over real quick.
Fortunately, no one was hurt in the crash. The driver may face charges.
Lots more traffic tie-ups around the valley this weekend. Several freeway closures could have you looking for new routes. There are 4 spots to steer clear of this weekend. The first one, the southbound Loop 101 in the West Valley, is closed from Northern to Thomas. Consider using 75th Avenue instead. The westbound Loop 101 in North Phoenix closed between 27th and 51st Avenues. Use Bell or Union Hills instead. Interstate 17 closed in both directions from Bethany Home Road to Glendale Avenue. Crews will be installing a pedestrian overpass. Use 19th or 35th Avenues as alternate routes. And I-10 is shut down between 7th Street and 7th Avenue for maintenance on the Deck Park Tunnel. The detour will be McDowell Road. All roads will reopen in time for Monday morning's commute. And speaking of driving, the First Lady of the Navajo Nation is becoming a spokeswoman for MAD, Mothers Against Drunk Driving. Vicki Shirley will speak at American Indian reservations across America. A drunken driver killed Shirley's daughter.
New tonight, a Valley man is charged with slamming into a police car, seriously wounding an officer. 35-year-old Jorge Rodriguez is charged with 1 count of aggravated assault on a police officer and 3 counts of endangerment. Investigators say he was driving near 60th Avenue in Bethany home last night when he hit the police cruiser. Police are conducting tests to see if alcohol was a factor. Glendale officer Steve Kolb was in the cruiser. He's in serious condition at St. Joseph's Hospital.
A red flag fire warning for parts of northern Arizona expires shortly, but that part of the state is not out of the woods yet. Caribe Devine is live in the Weather Center with more and our first forecast. Caribe?
Yeah, that's right, Bram. We do have a couple of warnings and watches in effect. If we go to the graphic here, I'll sort of outline where these areas are. It's most of Mojave County, which does include the city of Bullhead, which includes Bullhead City. And then we have, they're shaded in the red. And then in the yellow, that's a fire watch. That's for tomorrow, extending from Sunday noontime to 7 p.m. The red flag warning does expire tonight at about 7 p.m. So those areas definitely have some hazardous weather conditions that could potentially lead to some wildfires in that area. The dry weather and the wind are the factors. Here's a look at the wind speeds in northern Arizona. Grand Canyon seeing winds from the south at 22 miles an hour. Kingman seeing winds at 23. Show low winds out at 20. And as I said, the dry weather also a factor. 24% humidity in Grand Canyon, only 10% out in Kingman. I will continue to keep you updated on what's going on there, as well as your forecast for Sunday afternoon. Back to you.
Thanks, Caribe. 3 close calls today for kids near pools. The most recent happening about 20 minutes ago in the East Phoenix area. Crews pulled a small child from a backyard pool. That child is breathing and should be okay. 2 other similar accidents happening across the valley today. And speaking of pool safety, firefighters call this time of year the calm before the storm because there is a lull in the number of drownings.
That's right. So firefighters are making use of the downtime, trying to save lives. Nicole Hernandez-Cunningham is live in downtown Phoenix with an important safety message. Nicole?
Well, Bram and Kim, 7 Valley kids have already drowned this year, and we're not even at the peak of pool season yet. Now, today is the annual June Swoon Water Safety Day. It started off with a safety walk. This morning, firefighters, parents, kids, a ton of people took to the valley streets valley-wide and distributed some valuable water safety information. Now, the event ended in Scottsdale with a big event everyone got involved in. Upbeat music sets the tone. Kids dance and sing to a tune they're bound to remember.
They go home humming it, they'll sing it 2 or 3 weeks later, months later, they'll remember the words about being safe around water.
Whether they're inside a fire truck or spraying water from a fire hose, kids and their parents are surrounded by water safety. They pick up tips like blocking access to the pool, watching your kids, and learning.
Learn how to swim and also learn how to do CPR in case there is a terrible tragedy.
Make sure the pool gate is locked. Make sure the sliding glass doors out to the pool are locked.
Rod Josie and his wife are expecting their 2nd child. Their 3-year-old already knows how to swim.
It can happen in a split second. And she panics. She knows how to swim, but she panics right away.
While parents pick up the right safety precautions, kids are learning their part too.
Never go swimming by yourselves. No, don't fool around in the pool. Don't do anything stupid.
Brett Grossman becomes the center of attention as this event ends on a serious note.
I am gonna walk up the stairs, slip and fall in.
No, Brett! Brett pretends to be a drowning victim. All eyes are on him as he's pulled from a pool. Paramedics perform CPR before he's loaded into a chopper for transport. A serious thing for these little eyes to see, but they watch and learn.
Just stay safe around water.
Now remember, for more information on pool safety and how you can help raise money for the Bill Defense campaign, just log on to targetzero.azcentral.com. We're live in downtown Phoenix. I'm Nicole Hernandez-Cunningham, 12 News.
Thanks, Nicole. I like what the kids said. Don't do anything stupid.
Remember that, kids.
Yeah. Well, still ahead on 12 News at 6.
A soundless Saturday for residents living in one valley suburb, why the construction craze is forcing the city to take action.
Plus, the latest on the cleanup efforts after a Harrier jet crash in southern Arizona.
12 News closed captioning is brought to you by Land Rover, the most well-traveled on Earth.
Some Yuma families are returning to their homes tonight after a Harrier jet crash in their neighborhood. 4 homes are still evacuated while crews remove aircraft debris and clean up hazardous material and ammunition. And the Marine jet is still there. It's not known when it will be removed. The plane's pilot ejected safely before the Harrier crashed in the neighborhood on Wednesday. It carried 4 500-pound bombs and several hundred rounds of ammunition. No one was injured.
Reaction is mixed to Governor Napolitano's spending plan to help students struggling with English. The governor wants to spend $185 million more every year on teacher training, smaller classes, and updated material. That would satisfy a federal court order to retool the way teachers instruct students learning English. Some lawmakers say that's too much money, but a lawyer who filed a class action lawsuit supports the plan. And the governor tomorrow will give 8 members of the Arizona National Guard the Purple Heart. The members of the 855th Military Police Company were wounded in action. The unit is based in Phoenix and Yuma.
Yeah, that's a great Father's Day gift for some of those
Father's
soldiers.
Day, they certainly paid a price to get it, though, didn't they?
Absolutely. And Kyra joins us next with our Father's Day forecast.
That's right. Plus ways to protect yourself from a deadly disease, joining you at the dinner table.
And everyone wants peace and quiet in their backyard, right? Well, a valley town gets a piece of it.
A rare treat for residents in Paradise Valley today. Silence.
We're talking about a break from construction noise. That's because a new ban is now in effect. It keeps heavy equipment from pounding, bulldozing, and hammering away on Saturdays. Paradise Valley already bans its use on Sundays and legal holidays between sunset and sunrise.
If you're barbecuing tonight or headed out on the town, beware of bugs. Mosquitoes with West Nile virus are now showing up in Maricopa County. Health officials say hot weather is increasing the threat from the West Nile virus. They found West Nile positive mosquitoes in the South Phoenix and Tempe areas. Here are some tips to protect yourself. Avoid outdoor activity before dawn or after dusk. Use mosquito repellent and wear long sleeves and long pants. And get rid of standing water near your home. And so I wonder, is it ever too hot for bugs? Because it was pretty hot today.
Gosh,
yeah, I think we wouldn't have them here.
And you know what? 101 today. I thought that's kind of cool. I mean, considering that it is it's below average. I mean, average for us would be 105 for today, 101. But we are going to get much hotter than 105 here coming up in the week to come. But we'll get to that in just a moment. Here's a look at the highs today across the valley. 105, one of the warm spots today out in Glendale, 99 in Deer Valley. Phoenix, as I mentioned, 101. Our average is 105. We hit that at just before 5 o'clock this afternoon. And the hot spot today, 107 out in Chandler, 102 for those of you out in Queen Creek. Now, currently, we are sitting at 100 degrees out at Phoenix Sky Harbor Airport, and I'm sure your skin can feel the dryness. We're only at 9% humidity right now. We're seeing a west wind at 6 miles an hour and dew point only at 31 degrees. Across the state, here's what it looks like. 98 out in Safford, 99 for Tucson. Phoenix still one of the hottest spots here, 72. Very nice out in Flagstaff, and 74 for Grand Canyon, 88 out in Kingman. Now, those winds up in northern Arizona, winds up to 23 miles an hour. In Kingman, 22 for Grand Canyon. We're seeing winds at 20 here in Show Low, and winds at 17. And down to the south, it looks like winds just a little bit lighter. Yuma seeing a wind from the west at 9 miles an hour. Now, the reason we're seeing all that wind in northern Arizona, we have an area of low pressure out here in the Pacific Northwest, and then we have high pressure building in over Arizona. So the difference between those areas, unequal pressure, causing those wind speeds to kick up. Now, the areas of concern are really going to be mainly northern Arizona and parts of southern Nevada. The valley, we'll see some breezy winds continue tomorrow, but for the most part, the strongest winds will be up in northern Arizona, Flagstaff, Grand Canyon, Bullhead City, Page. You'll see winds up to about 25 miles an hour. Tuesday, high pressure dominating, so our temperatures are expected to go above that average of 105. Now, we do have some watches and warnings. We have a red flag warning for most of Mojave, half of Coconino County. Then we have a fire watch. That's for tomorrow. The red flag warning is just about to expire here in the next 30 minutes or so. So people in that part of the state should really be careful with their cigarettes. It's very dry and the wind speeds are pretty high. Tomorrow, 98 degrees for Lake Havasu, 92 in Kingman. We're seeing southwest winds tomorrow, as I mentioned, a little bit on the breezy side for northern Arizona, 15 to 25 miles an hour. 82 degrees for Show Low. Tomorrow, Globe, you'll be 97. That's pretty warm for you. And Tucson, 103, 96 out in Dallas. Tonight, across the valley, mostly clear skies. Our lows will dip between 72 and 77. That's really right around where we should be. Southwest winds, 10 to 20 miles an hour. Tomorrow for your Father's Day, it's going to be another nice day. It'll also be hot, though, a few degrees hotter than today. Highs between 100 and 105 with southwest winds at 10 to 20 miles an hour. Now, here's a look at the rest of the week. As I mentioned, it's getting hotter, and summertime begins on Tuesday, and the temperatures are just perfect for that, 110 degrees. So what a way to bring in the summer season. 109 on Wednesday. And just a little bit cooler by Friday and Saturday, but that's a perfect timing, that 110 on summer, isn't it?
Better enjoy 101 tonight.
Yeah, no kidding.
Right.
From the Arizona Lottery and Channel 12, here are tonight's winning numbers for the pick. 12, 28, 25, 5, 3, 32, And the bonus ball is 27. Here are the winning numbers for Fantasy 5. 30, 32, 9, 11, 24. And the pick 3 winning numbers are 3, 1, 7. Good luck, and remember to check all your winning numbers at ArizonaLottery.com. Your Arizona Lottery, funding community projects statewide.
New tonight, a Valley man charged with slamming into a police car, seriously wounding an officer, makes his initial court appearance. 35-year-old Jorge Rodriguez is charged with 1 count of aggravated assault on a police officer and 3 counts of endangerment. Investigators say he was driving near 60th Avenue and Bethany home last night when he hit the police cruiser. Police are conducting tests to see if alcohol was a factor. Glendale officer Steve Kolb was in the cruiser. He's in serious condition at St. Joseph's Hospital.
Crews are getting ready to close I-10 downtown tonight between 7th Street and 7th Avenue. Here's a live look from our ADOT cams. Some cars still going by right now. Crews are doing maintenance work on the Deck Park Tunnel. The tunnel should reopen by 7 a.m. tomorrow morning. Until then, use McDowell Road as an alternate. Well, parts of the state will be under a weather watch tomorrow. Caribe Divine live in the Weather Center with more on the fire watch.
Yeah, that's right, Bram. National Weather Service has issued a fire weather watch for certain parts of the state. I want to take a look at a graphics now and show you the areas that are being affected. Most of Mojave County, as well as Coconino County, most of Navajo County as well. From noontime tomorrow until 7 p.m., very low humidity and strong winds will make conditions ripe for wildfires to ignite quickly. So those of you in that area should really pay attention tomorrow. Don't throw any cigarettes out the window because that could definitely be tragic. Now here's a look at the winds. 35 miles an hour tomorrow. Sustained winds 15 to 25 during the afternoon hours. Right now you can see dry weather across the entire state as high pressure continues to dominate our weather this weekend. Here's a look at current wind speeds. Winds at 12 in Grand Canyon, winds at 9 in Kingman, 10 in Show Low. Not too bad right now, but by tomorrow afternoon, those winds will certainly get stronger. We'll take a look at that a little bit further later on in the newscast, plus your hot valley forecast. Back to you, Kim.
Thanks, Caribe. New tonight, a new wildfire is burning in southern Arizona. The Aztec fire is burning near Patagonia, near Red Mountain in the Coronado National Forest. The fire so far has charred 250 acres. Residents living in 15 homes have voluntarily evacuated. Officials don't know what caused the fire. There is evidence of a comeback tonight, 3 years after the worst wildfire in state history. The Rodeo Chetasky fire burned more than 460,000 acres in 2002. Since then, the White Mountain Apache have planted more than 1 million ponderosa pine and spent about $26 million. But storm runoff and soil erosion are still a problem. The state's first commercial hydroelectric power plant is quiet tonight. APS is shutting down the Childs and Irving power plants. It's in a remote location in central Arizona. The plant closure means restored water flow to Fossil Creek after a century of restrictions. The move comes after an agreement among APS, the government, and Native American tribes. Residents living in 4 houses in Yuma are still evacuated tonight after a Harrier jet crashes into their backyards. Crews let people living in 7 houses go back home today, but the jet is still there. It hasn't been removed yet. No one knows when that will happen either. The plane had bombs on board when it crashed. No one was hurt.
2 more American soldiers die in Operation Iraqi Freedom. The military says insurgents attacked them north of Baghdad. Also inside Iraq, the military says troops fighting in Operation Spear have killed at least 50 insurgents. U.S. and Iraqi forces are targeting foreign fighters. They've been slipping into Iraq from Syria. Locally, more than 200 Marines are taking part in a training exercise. Members of the Marine Reserve are testing their endurance at the West Valley YMCA by jumping into water fully clothed in combat gear. All Marines have to go through the test to stay in good standing with the reserves.
3 close calls today for kids near pools. The most recent happening around 6 p.m. tonight. Crews pulled a small child from a backyard pool, and that child is okay. So are 2 other kids who also fell into pools today. Now, for more information on pool safety and how you can help raise money for the Bill Defense campaign, log on to targetzero.azcentral.com.
New developments tonight in the case of an Alabama teen missing in Aruba. A judge says 3 men held in connection with the disappearance of Natalie Holloway will stay behind bars at least for another week. A 4th man is in custody in connection with the case. He goes before the judge on Monday. Holloway disappeared nearly 3 weeks ago while on a high school senior class trip. Meantime, searchers in Utah are looking for a missing Boy Scout. The 11-year-old disappeared last night near Park City. Searchers are looking on the ground and in the air. Another Boy Scout disappeared in the same area last year. He is still missing.
It's a bitter reminder of one of the most horrific periods in American history, slavery. Here in the Valley, people are celebrating the end of it in an annual event called Juneteenth. The festival is still going on right now at South Mountain Community College. It's called Juneteenth because it was on June 19, 1865, that President Lincoln issued the Emancipation Proclamation that ended slavery.
And it is one of the few things that we do anytime during the year that is designed first and foremost to be a celebration. We are celebrating our freedom.
And across the country, there is a movement to make Juneteenth a national holiday. It's also just a celebration of our culture. So, you know, at Juneteenth celebrations across the country, you'll see lots of people dancing and singing and arts and crafts.
Lots of parades, too, in many big cities.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Okay. Well, bald eagles return to one part of Arizona. Find out where. That's coming up on 12 News at 10.
Also ahead, why one big screen star had to make an emergency visit to the hospital. This is fascinating. Biologists find a new bald eagle nest in northern Arizona for the first time in more than 30 years.
That's right. Scientists found a pair of adult eagles nesting in a tree next to Lower Lake Mary in the Coconino Forest. There are now 47 bald eagle breeding areas across Arizona, mostly in the central part of the state, one of the most spectacular sights in nature.
Oh, I gotta go
a bald
there.
eagle.
That is really interesting. I did a story last week out at Roosevelt Lake, and they were talking about how the new water from the winter runoff has created all these new nutrients and new food in the lake. So now all these animal species that weren't there before are now flocking to the area. So
Isn't that interesting?
It is.
Bird watchers.
Yeah, absolutely. It is really, really interesting, and a very nice night out there tonight. Hopefully everyone else out there got a chance to enjoy. If you haven't, you can get out now. It's not too late. 92 degrees out at Phoenix Sky Harbor Airport. We're at 13% humidity. Winds are light right now, dew point at 34 degrees. Now across the state, cooler up to the north, 54 in Flagstaff, 59 in Grand Canyon, 70 degrees out in Kingman and Yuma. You're sitting at a warm 88 degrees. Now highs today across the state. The hot spot today was Casa Grande, 105. Here in Phoenix, we hit 101 just a minute before 5 o'clock this afternoon. Our average is 105, so we're below average for today. 87 out in Payson, 75 for a high today in Flagstaff. Now I do want to tell you about this fire weather watch we have in effect for tomorrow noontime up until 7 p.m. The dry weather, low humidity, and some of the strong winds are going to create some very hazardous conditions as far as wildfires go. So everyone in that area needs to be aware of that. Gusty winds up to about 35 miles an hour. Now I'll show you what's going on in the west. We have an area of low pressure out in the Pacific Northwest, already creating some rain showers for northern California and some spotty showers in Oregon. Then we have high pressure building up to our west. So the difference in those areas of pressure, the low pressure and the high pressure, is tightening those pressure gradients. So we have some pretty windy conditions, mainly in northern Arizona, southern Nevada, and parts of southern Utah for tomorrow. I'll take you through tomorrow. We'll see high pressure continue to build up. Our winds will slacken across the state on Monday and Tuesday. A little bit of moisture might seep in from Mexico, so could see a chance for some thunderstorms at the higher elevations in southeast Arizona and eastern Arizona. Across the nation, not a whole lot going on. We have a very dry weather here in the midsection of the country, even the Midwest. Some thunderstorms earlier this afternoon across the Gulf Coast, but those are starting to die down. We have a few heavy thunderstorm cells here in parts of western South Carolina. And other than that, it looks like we have a severe thunderstorm watch here for parts of eastern Montana and Texas, looking pretty good tonight and dry. Tomorrow across the state, 103 degrees for Parker, 98. In Lake Havasu, southwest winds tomorrow could get strong, breezy to windy conditions in northern Arizona. 86 in Prescott, Sedona. You'll see a high tomorrow of 93 degrees, 90 in Payson, and 82 for Show Low. Overnight lows tonight in Globe, 55 degrees with a high of 97 by tomorrow afternoon, 103 out in Tucson. Tonight across the valley, mostly clear skies, lows between 72 and 77 degrees with southwest winds. And tomorrow will be a nice day, mostly sunny skies. We'll see highs between 100 and 105, so a little bit hotter than we were today with those southwest winds at 10 to 20 miles an hour. Now here's the look at the 7-day forecast. hotter as that high pressure continues to dominate. 108 on Monday. As we bring the official summer season in, we will be 110 degrees, and then 109 on Wednesday, 107 by Thursday. And then we'll bring a few clouds in by the end of the week on Friday. Back to you guys.
All right, one Hollywood heavyweight is starstruck, but it's not what you think. Leonardo DiCaprio ended up in the hospital after getting smacked in the head with a bottle at an early morning party. People magazine says the actor went to the hospital and got a dozen stitches near his ear. No official word from the actor or his people just yet.